Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We have an incredible story for you today with author Karen Winnick. We're excited. Both Casey and I have read the story, and we know you're going to love it.
Yes.
Just waiting for maybe a couple more people to join.
Yes.
And
We'll
then
give it
and then
2
we'll
minutes.
begin. Yeah, then we'll begin.
We would love to know where you are. If you want to type it in the Q&A. I'm going to open up the chat as well for you guys. We would love to know where you are from.
Yes. I see new names here. Yes, please, in the chat, please let us know where you're from. We'd love to know.
All right. So whether it's in the chat or the Q&A. Oh, we got the Bronx. Very
All
nice.
right.
Hello.
Welcome, Bronx. We love it. Bronx always comes. They never let us down.
Yes, 205.
Awesome. Okay.
San Diego.
San Diego, Karen.
My way.
Karen, you sit on the board of the San Diego Zoo, don't you?
I know.
Or did you?
I'm involved with the commission of the LA Zoo.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay, great. San Diego Zoo is quite the zoo.
Oh,
LA,
yeah.
we've got LA. Yay. It's your town.
Hi, everybody from California and everywhere else too.
And Karen, why don't you start? Why don't we
can
get
go ahead.
going?
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay.
Did you get started?
Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Karen Winnick, and I'm an author and an artist who does children's picture books, which I love to do. And I'm going to read you my newest book. It's called Why Wolves Matter. And I love wolves. I love animals. As you can see, this is my studio, and I've got more stuffed animals and lots of books. And I'm going to, afterwards, after I read it, I'm going to show you how I made the book. But I want you to know that wolves get such a bad rap in the world, and especially in children's books. The big bad wolf with Little Red Riding Hood, and the wolf that's going to blow the pig's house down, and the Three Little Pigs. And I just wanted to show kids like you that wolves are really important, and they're important to the environment, and they're important to the good of nature. So I'm going to show you through a PowerPoint so you can really see the pictures and the words. So that's the cover, and I just want to explain that this space is to indicate that the wolf is no longer there and what happens. So those are the end papers, and that's what you call the title page. That's how it looks. I dedicated this to my grandkids. And this is, these are two quotes from Native Americans that I used. It honors me to belong to this tribe and be, whoops. It honors me to belong to this tribe and be part of bringing back the wolves. This was meant to be because they were here since the mountains. And this one, wolves make the circle whole again. When I read that, it helped me to understand how I wanted to tell my story. So I put it at the front because truly, wolves make the circle whole again was the theme of my story. Gray wolves once made the circle whole. Nature was in balance in Yellowstone National Park, where they lived with elk and beavers and bears. The wolves also shared the park with foxes, coyotes, and many kinds of fish and birds. And that's a spread when you see the two pages together. The wolves formed packs, and each pack marked their territory with a chorus of howls. In summer, the wolves romped over grassy meadows. In winter, they plowed through deep snow. In spring, the alpha male in each pack dug a den and gave birth to pups. All the wolves in the pack helped to raise the pups. Together, the pack chased elk, most often going after the weakest of the herd. They shared the kill and brought back meat to feed the pups. Contented, the wolves snoozed in the sun while a fox or coyote sneaked up to snatch leftovers. Eagles and ravens swooped down to grab scraps too. Nature was in balance. The circle was whole. Then fear and mistrust of the wolves began to grow. People called them a threat. Some wolves wandered outside the park. A few killed ranchers' sheep and cattle for food, not just to kill. The wolves were hunted. They were chased and trapped, poisoned or shot until no more wolves were left in the park. And so I used this outline of a wolf to show that the wolf was gone. Because there were no more wolves, elk herds grew bigger. They munched on all the woody plants and grasses. More and more ventured into the park's forest to graze in groves of quaking aspen. They grazed until the quaking aspen disappeared. Few birds flew into the park. There were no branches on which to perch and sing their songs. There were no places to build their nests and hatch their young. More and more elk munched on cottonwoods by the river. They munched until the cottonwoods were gone. Few fish swam in the river. There were no shadows in which to hide. There were no shade to keep the water cool. More and more elk browsed on the drooping willows near the creek. They browsed until the drooping willows vanished. Few beavers splashed in the creek. No wood was left for them to gnaw. Without wood, beavers couldn't build dams to slow the water that ran too fast in the creeks. Without dams, no ponds were formed for fish to spawn or waterfowl to float. More and more elk chomped the huckleberry bushes growing up the mountains. They chomped until the huckleberry bushes were scarce. Bears could no longer fill their bellies with berries before their winter sleep. Many years went by in the park, years with scarce huckleberry bushes and hungry bears, years without drooping willows or splashing beavers, without cottonwoods or swimming fish, without quaking aspen or singing birds. Because the elk herds grew so big, the elk went hungry. Many grew sickly and starved. Some people began to understand that nature was no longer in balance in the park. The circle was badly broken. That's my rendition of what the park looked like. The trees were down, no fish, no birds, no wolves, no beavers. More years passed, and then one or two lone gray wolves drifted down from the north. Other wolves were released in the park by people who hoped to make the circle whole again. The wolves formed packs. In spring, the alpha male in each pack gave birth to pups. The wolves chased elk and brought back meat to feed the pups. While they snoozed, a fox or coyote sneaked up to snatch leftovers. Eagles and ravens swooped down to grab scraps too. Because the wolves came back, elk herds became smaller. Quaking aspen grew. Birds sang their songs and raised their young. Cottonwoods sprung up by the river. Fish swam in the cool water and hid in the shade. Drooping willows appeared near the creeks. Beavers splashed and built dams. Ponds formed where fish spawned, and waterfowl floated. Bushes swelled with huckleberries. Bears gobbled them up before their winter sleep. Gray wolves now live in Yellowstone National Park. The circle is whole again. A broken circle is the disruption of the natural order of things. Wolves, like other large carnivores, are important to the natural order. We cause great damage when we wipe a species off the face of the earth. I came across the quotes by members of the Nez Perce tribe in Idaho that are in the beginning of Why Wolves Matter. And I got that quote from an article in an old issue of National Geographic. Those words inspired me to write this story. And there's a timeline of how the wolves were there and then disappeared and came back. And I have a bibliography, magazines and newspapers. And there's the whole circle. So I just want to show you the process of how I made this book. When I work on a story, I do a lot of research. I have boxes. I have about 3 boxes full of wolf books, which I read and I took notes. I did research. I found old National Geographics, and that's where I found the quote. When I read Wolves Made the Circle Whole Again, it helped me, as I said, to frame the story. So this is the manuscript for another, but I type up the story. I write on the computer, but I don't just write it once. I write it 25 times, 50 times. When you write a picture book, every word counts. You only have mostly 32 pages. Sometimes you have a little more, 40 or 48, but a picture book, an author in Australia named Mem Fox said it's like writing War and Peace, which is a great big novel, in haiku, which is a very short poem. You have a lot to say in a very short space. So every word counts. And afterwards, I take 8 pieces of paper and I fold them in half and I cut my story apart. And again, this is from a different project, but this helps me to pace it, to see what words I might not need, to turn the page and get a surprise. And mostly it shows me what I'm going to draw. So I do a lot of research for the drawings too, and I do a lot of sketches. And this is one sketch. I do it in pencil, a pretty soft pencil on tracing paper, so I can not only erase, but I can put one tracing paper over another and refine my drawing. I take it to a photo store that scans it onto paper. But after I do that, I make a book dummy. So let me show you my book dummy. The name of the book changed, and that's because other stories came out, and every time a story came out, they kind of used the title I was going to use. But I love the title of my book because wolves matter, all creatures matter. And so it says something deeper. But these are my sketches in pencil. And as I said, I took the sketches to be scanned onto paper that I could paint. So I have 2 paintings here. This is one. And I used to work in oil paints, but this was done with acrylics, which are water-based. You don't have to use oil. And gouache, which is Gouache. And what that is opaque watercolor. Here's another painting. And I left a lot of room around so that the art director who laid out the book could cut it. But I needed to leave room for the copy, the writing. And so that's how I told my story, and that's how I made my book. And if anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Chat. Is this my favorite book so far? I have to tell you that every book that I have done, I've worked very hard on, and I've really cared. But this book is even doubly important to me because I really care about future generations, and I care about animals and nature. And I wanted to vindicate, undo the bad reputation of wolves. And I only can make small steps in doing that. But I felt good about this because I wanted to show kids, especially, that wolves count. And when I sign the book for people, I always write every creature counts. Because if you really look into what animals do and how they're interconnected in nature, I mean, elephants, when they walk around, they poop and they plant seeds to plant new trees. They also make holes and dents in the earth that with their heavy feet, and other animals go in and live there. So everything depends on everything else. And
Karen,
that's why we have to have respect
sorry.
for it.
We have two questions.
Great.
A student wants to know, what is your favorite fact about wolves, and what is the name of your stuffed animal wolf in your lap?
Well, actually, I didn't have a name for him, but I think I'm going to just call him Wolfie. Okay. So the thing about wolves that I love is their family. They care about their family, and all the wolves in a pack watch over the pups. And as long as they stay alive, um, the, a wolf male and a wolf female stay together for life, and they take care of their pups. So what's important to them is family. And what's important to me is family. So I think that's the most important fact for me.
I love that. And that's a beautiful thing. You know, when they mate for life, and the family's the most important. Karen, I have a question. You illustrate and you write. Did you go to school for that? Did you go to art school? Were you a journalist?
No, I went to college. I actually went to Syracuse University and majored in art. And what I always tell kids is, I always ask them, do you play sports? What do you have to do to be good? And everybody yells out practice. Well, it's no different. I mean, when I first started drawing and painting, I was, unsure and tentative, but I stick with things, and you get better the more you do something. And as far as writing goes, I always love to read. I think I just find that reading, I learn so much, and having curiosity and learning things, especially, I love books, but even to be able to look up facts so easily on the internet. But I took a lot of writing classes. I used to live on the East Coast, and when I moved to California, I took a lot of writing classes, but I also took poetry. I took poetry for a number of years because when you write picture books, as I said, you don't have a lot of space, but all the what I call tools of poetry, repetition, rhyme, rhythm, alliteration, metaphor, simile. They're all used in picture books as well as poetry. And just from practicing, I've become better. I mean, in both art and writing, I still hopefully will get even better.
Growing, you grow and
um,
grow.
growing.
And
But if you want to do something, keep doing it because you will get better at it.
Yes. And we have another question from a student of how long did the whole writing process take for you?
I worked on this story a long time. And the paintings took me about a year to do.
So
Wow.
beautiful.
But
They're really
but
beautiful.
sometimes I knew what I wanted to say, and truthfully, like I mentioned twice already, that when I read that quote, "Wolves make the circle whole again," I knew I was going to express what I said and express what happened, and then go back to how things were. And that to me gives you hope, um, that things could be made right. There's something out in the world today called rewilding, where people in different parts of the world are bringing animals that no longer exist in that environment. Like I think lynxes, I think in Eastern Europe and Spain, they've been bringing them back. But in different parts of the world, they're trying to save animals and rewild them to make the environments whole again.
I
Very
know
fitting
even,
for today.
yeah, and I know even in the Hudson River, there's a huge project to bring oysters back.
Yes, and
Right?
it's been successful too.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
So interesting, so interesting. Well, is there anything else, anybody? Any other questions for Karen while we have her? This valuable teacher right here for us.
And thank you for helping me to choose a name. I didn't
Well, Karen, I always enjoy your stories, and so far I have to say this is my favorite. I loved this when I read it.
Thank you. It's really important to me because I care so much. I care so much about the environment and the earth and preserving it, and I love animals so much. They leave me in awe. Somebody said to me that, "Oh, that's such an ugly looking animal." And I said, "I don't think so." I watch it and it leaves me awestruck.
It is, and we're all connected, and that's what we talk about here, is that we're all connected, and the sooner we realize that, the better off the world will be.
Mhm.
I mean, look at what COVID taught us, how connected we are, and we have to really care for our animals, we have to care for the environment, and we're all connected. And you said something to me, Karen, I'll close with this, that really touched me. We spoke last summer for quite a while, and you said, it used to be, when you go back to Native Americans, it was all about Mother Earth, caring for the earth. We cared about our environment. And if, you ate animals, there was, you honored the animal, you lived, everything was of use, and it was realized that it was connected. And you said, but that has gotten lost when we looked to the heavens. People started to then look to, oh, well, God will take care. God, but we have to take care. If there is a God, we're the ones that have been given the boat that we have to row. We've been given the earth. We have to care for it. You can't put it in the hands of the cosmic or the hoping or it's doing and caring and being grateful and knowing and nurturing, right? Nurturing.
It's stewardship that we have to take
Yes,
responsibility for, and we
that's
have to
right.
have respect for nature
That's
Yes.
right. Yeah.
and
So
all the
thank you for
animals
that.
that dwell.
Yes,
That
absolutely.
thought lives in my heart forever. So thank you. And thank you everyone for joining us. And Karen, we'll wait for your next book.
Yes.
We're waiting for the
Thank
next one.
you. Thank you for the chance to read it to
Oh,
you.
I look forward to talking to you. I hope you come to New York soon. We see you.
Okay.
Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Thanks
Bye.
for joining the
Bye.
Muttigrees Read Aloud with Karen Winnick. We appreciate your support. Bye-bye.